11-year-old Javid Ahmed Sheikh saw the men appear at the far end of this summer pasture ground, moving slowly through the endless green carpet. Their guns casually slung over their shoulders, one reached into his bag to offer the child a chocolate and asked him to show them the shortest route past the layers of barbed wire fence that runs through Lily. 10 years later, in 2018, the family finally heard from their son again. "I'm married now and I have 2 children," Javid told his father, Ghulam Mohammed, who works with the electricity department in the village of Markut. "I have a job with the Pakistan Army. I hope I see you again someday." Ever since February 2021, when India and Pakistan signed an agreement mandating strict observance of a ceasefire first put in place 18 years earlier, hundreds of trekkers have made their way on the same meadow Javid disappeared.
10,000 feet or so below me, the National Conference, the BJP, and many other political parties are fighting the battle of their lives for the border constituency of Gurez. Up here, there's absolutely no one around. The last Indian border position along the line of control, a post called Lily, is just behind me on the right-hand side there. And I guess if you can zoom in enough in this image, you'll see the first Pakistani position just meters away from that. The famous peak of Habba Khatun, which in legend is supposed to have been the place where Kashmir's poet saint met the famous king Yusuf Shah, is just right there on my left. This used to be, though, the main infiltration highway across the line of control. And though the election and the peace that surrounds me is incredible, there are also some disturbing currents that run just under the surface.
The sounds of the savage artillery skirmishes once unleashed to help jihadis push past Indian border defences, which claimed dozens of civilian lives, have been replaced by firecrackers set off at weddings and political rallies. Last month, though, an Indian army patrol opened fire on a group of infiltrators who are suspected to have been attempting to cut through the line of control fencing in Gurez. 3 terrorists were shot dead in adjoining sectors.
For people who've grown up in the mountains, the paths through these passes and high meadows are just as familiar as the back lanes of our neighborhoods are for us. And that's meant it's been easy for terrorists to use the same paths people have traversed for generations with their animals or to gather firewood to also cross the line of control and enter the Kashmir Valley.
Last week, police and Indian Army troops in Kulgam shot dead Aqib Shergojri and Umesh Wani, both accused of running a Lashkar cell operating in southern Kashmir and both recruited in 2021 while still college students. Following his school education, Aqib joined the degree college in Pulwama but dropped out in his second year to study for a religious qualification from the Darul Uloom Pinjura Seminary in Shopian. There, police sources have told ThePrint that he was introduced to the work of Ibn Taymiyya, a 13th century cleric who developed an iconoclastic theology of war as the Mongol invasions leveled the Arab world. Under pressure from his family to earn a living, he dropped out of the seminary after a few months to work at an automobile workshop in Pulwama. He maintained contact, though, with Lashkar-e-Taiba jihadist Arif Hazar, to whom he had been introduced at the seminary. Following the killing of Arif in an encounter with police in 2022, Aqib left home to join the group. The untrained jihadists were unable to carry out any significant acts of violence. Lashkar propaganda videos record that they seem to have spent time producing TikTok-like performances intended to inspire other potential recruits. Figures like Aqib, though, demonstrate there is still a pool of individuals who can be drawn towards the jihadist movement, should the inter-services intelligence choose to make training and equipment available. And that has made forces guarding the LOC on the north increasingly concerned. Terrorists from southern Kashmir have been attempting to push past the LOC in Gurez. 2 years ago, the bodies of Tral resident Nisar Ahmed Rathar and Samir Ahmed of Dogripora near Pulwama were found drowned in a mountain stream running through Tulel, close to the LOC. The bodies were weighed down with 4 assault rifle magazines, 116 magazines, a grenade, and a wireless communication set. Kashmir-based intelligence officials believe the 2 men left for training camps in Pakistan late in 2019 and had been sent back across the LOC to join small units like that run by Aqib. The assumption has to be there have been more groups like these we don't succeed in detecting, one official told ThePrint.
In dense forests like this, it's obviously impossible to detect terrorist movement. It's also impossible to saturate these jungles with security force personnel. And in the past, that allowed terrorists to easily move past the line of control all the way on to the bowl of the valley, through places like Bandipora and on to Ganderbal and even Srinagar.
For centuries, Gurez's ethnic Dard communities earned a living by serving trade convoys headed from Srinagar to Gilgit and on to the Silk Road markets of Yarkand and Kashgar. The hamlet of Chorwan, close to the LOC, earned a reputation for being home to skilled guides who could help the caravans evade medieval rulers' tax outposts. Following the war of 1947-48, the trade ended but was replaced by low-grade trafficking of liquor, stolen livestock, and even cigarettes. The traffickers often doubled as spies for the armies of India and Pakistan. To some traffickers in Gurez, the large number of jihadists across the LOC from 1990 represented a simple business opportunity, local police officials say. One group of 31 infiltrators arrested jihadist Sayyid Moinullah Shah, revealed in 2017, employed 39 porter and 40 men to beat the snow into a path. Artillery fire was often used by the Pakistan Army to provide cover to these infiltration attempts, often with devastating consequences for civilians. In 2019, 2 Gurez region residents were killed and dozens of homes were damaged during one especially heavy artillery exchange. There was further damage to property in 2020. For Gurez residents, peace on the LOC has meant the blossoming of their tourism industry and the resumption of infrastructure work made impossible by shelling. The resumption of terrorism to the south, though, suggests that storms could again be gathering.
I'm Praveen Swami, reporting from the Gurez Valley for ThePrint.